the component is like, all right, you got this much through, we'll get the others out. So, what is this, a Terizla ban, right?
A glue ban.
The glue ban, there you go. So
Do they really ban
one.
the glue here? That would be hilarious, honestly.
They could.
They could.
They have the priority for XP on the clapback, on the swing.
I agree.
It'd be a good play.
It would be an extremely good play, in a matter of fact, because both sides have shown their mid laners, right? It's not going to get punished either way. Arla gets banned, and now Fireflux, they're catching on to this.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you have
Drum roll,
XP
please.
lane prio. We don't care. We're gonna take out the best XP laners, and you're still gonna have to deal with our respectable amount of mid lane damage and TNZ's ludicrous Leomord. That's the only word I can think of. It's I don't know, man.
It's not fair. It's not fair that he gets away with it.
I don't want to say OP. I don't want to say broken. It's just not fair.
I can see Leo's bottle of copium underneath the table. He's huffing it real hard.
Yeah, let me get some of that, please.
Yeah, because this is not something that you see very often, especially in the meta now. And as we see, it's the glue. They're all. I'm telling you.
I love it.
I'm telling you. Okay, Benedetta here, right? Would that be the Benedetta?
Oh, no, Terizla, right?
The Rizla?
They can Riz on the pick or the ban. Yes.
Oh.
Like, either way, I feel like it's a lose-lose. You ban out the Terizla, they can still get the Benedetta, they can still get a few things.
And then you miss out on it.
Yeah.
So you're forcing.
Lapu's still open.
You're forcing Alien's hero pool to flex.
I mean, Alien has the hero pool to do so. We've seen him play Lapu Lapu before.
He does.
I wouldn't put Dairoth past him either. Both sides can actually go for Benedetta based on their past
Uranus
history
is still
performance.
open too.
Oh, please let's not go there. I don't want to go that far.
Hey, man.
We don't need it.
Oh, this one.
I like
this
the
one.
open.
There you go. So the Benedetta's open, the Riz is open.
Now they have options.
The Laps is open.
What would be the most effective here, right?
Because
Because all of which we're thinking of, the only one, no, all of which have ultimates or at least abilities with AoE style of CCs. Raging Sandstorm coming in for Khalid, Benedetta with Electrofiner Bolt plus Petrify, but of course the Rizla with the penalty zone. Instead, they're going to leave the question up for Fireflux. They lock in the Bruno.
Khalid, bro.
I would love to see a Khalid coming in from Edward.
Khalid is so good too, especially with the damage on Leomord.
Yeah.
You're good, you're fine. That's
You
double.
do have to be careful
that's
though.
double
there's
CC.
there's a lot of CC to mess up Khalid's heal. He's got to really be like more assassin type, not as like I sit up in the front and
The Adamir style of Khalid.
These days,
everyone's running that, right?
everyone's running that. So I think as a Khalid, if you want to pick it, you have to just be ready to do that anyways.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay.
I think it's all right, and especially since a majority of the counter matchups have been taken out at this point. Like, why not, right? Beatrix?
Okay.
Who is it going to be? Who's the EXP liner? Are they going to...
Any
Well, at
bets?
this point, you might as well default to Rizla, right? At least you have a dedicated setter that is easy to play. No, straight into Lapu.
Okay. So far, Lapu Lapu might be the easiest, besides the Yuzhong, the best way to cut through a lineup. The easiest access to the back line. That has a solid damage reduction and CC. Again, that's not a Yuzhong.
It has good chase and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So that means what does Edward play here? Does he go into the Rizzler? Could he go into...
Does he go in the Rizzler? Does he play the Bene?
I want to see the Bene.
I do want to see
I think
the
you've got
Bene.
movement. I think you've got a lot of opportunity to dodge. You've got a lot of opportunity to kind of get away from the layers of set. But no, he goes for the Khalid himself.
Oh, hot commodities in. He really wants to win that lane now.
To be fair, there's only really one or two ways for you to stop the quick sand guard. This is good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really, really great. He's going to have so much control. I'm hoping to see like an Onyx-style opening coming out from Blacklist International where it's like, oh, I don't need to show up into the lane. I'm going to check your jungle real quick. And if your support happens to be there, chunk him out.
Pop him. Checking out the lineup once more. The numbers say it all for Blacklist International because, again, this is the characteristic for Fireflux. So far, they've gone this deep into M5 by defying the odds and playing heroes like Leomord. And here, they're trying to show us a new take. Again, this is a cobbled together way of playing the Leomord. And I'm sure they've screamed with this, and I'm sure they've practiced for the fact that maybe our opponents will take out the key parts of this lineup. But against Blacklist, man, this is an old flame.
All right, it's match point for Blacklist right now. Trying to close out against Fireflux. Game number 4. Who's going to take it all?
Is it going to be Fireflux on this blue side? Rosa!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait, what?
Oh, he just got
Confused.
chunked! He used his Purify already and he got chunked. Blacklist International on the red side. I
Edward
think
jumped
it was.
into the mid.
Yeah.
They all went in.
I got a treat for you here.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that was almost a first blood so early on, pre-1 minute.
Okay, and that's coming in from 2 concussive blasts from Sensui and Edward respectively. Edward also rocking the, ooh, all right, Master Assassin.
Yes.
Also rocking the Assassin emblem. All right, that's a whole bunch of damage. How much? Yes.
Yes.
More than enough. More than enough. I like it. I like it a lot, right? That's what I was hoping for, to see these aggressive openings coming in from Blacklist International, because Khalid is one of the few heroes who gets away with that. He no worries about mana who, it's not that big of a deal.
Homie even has the jump, right? His passive. So you don't need to commit anything.
Exactly, and it applies to slow and, man, there's so many good things about it that I could talk about it forever, but so far, just look at this lane dominance coming in from Edward.
I like it now. As long as Edward can control this, and as long as the read from Edward, he has the ability to counter-engage here. If that implosion comes and he's not in it, and everyone tries to jump in when that implosion happens, he can definitely punish certain plays that Fireflux wants to bring here. Oh, Tienzi, though, trying to punish himself, but he gets punished under the tower. First blood going over to Yue.
Shadow Strike doing its work, terrifying the Leomord in mid, and this bottom lane, this gold lane matchup, again, it's a skill match actually, but this is OEB we're talking about.
Yeah, and it's going really well. It's going really well for Blacklist in the early stages of this game. I think we need to start looking for some foresight here, you know? Foreshadowing, as some may even call it. When do we expect Fireflux to try and bounce back against Blacklist International, right? Obviously, level 4s are going to come on in, but with the lead that Blacklist International has made, I'm guessing it's going to lead towards the bottom side of the map, where Renegade is keeping his watch.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to switch gears at this point. Taking a death on a Tienzi that earlier, on that hero that you want to snowball, that we've seen snowballs in games that they've won with it before. Now I think we have to, okay, let's try to favor Sunshine here. Let's try to maybe give OHEB a bad game. Let's try to look at some other opportunities.
And I think the fact that Apex has, I don't know, been put on a very defensive position. Again, a babysitting Tigreal is a very difficult way to look at a clapback. And so far, when Fireflux does this, when they play a lineup like this, they are constantly looking for outlets for Apex to kill. Apex to help TNZ wipe people out. And if Apex is so focused on protecting Sunshine, then that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Blacklist International has 2 winning lanes on the furthest sides of the map as well. Like, you can have as much priority in the mid lane as you want, but our laners, no matter which side you go to, they're going to get hurt, right? And I don't think Fireflux Esports, with the heroes that they have, aren't exactly the greatest when it comes down to skirmishing. Maybe Sunshine, but that's the only exception.
Oh man, Sunshine in a bad spot right now. 3 members of Blacklist just circling like vultures, man, just looking, waiting for the pickings right now. Yue gonna come down as well. Rose gonna walk right in Sensui there, take a little bit of damage, forced to pop the black shoes. TNZ not want to force it, and Blacklist have a lead. They don't have to force anything right now.
Something to note about what Sensui is doing to Rosa, he's forcing either a Black Shoes or a Purify. If both go, that's a sign for the rest of Blacklist to follow through. So with that said, I think even Blacklist knows that the turnaround from Fireflux is coming from gold. It also helps that the turtle is here.
Ooh, out comes the steed.
Hey.
Edward on the run, TNZ. Not going to be able to do anything. Look for the knock-up. Neither of them have it. Edward able to walk away safely, gets pulled back. Oh, they needed that kill so bad. That could have been the turnaround a little bit, at least to get TNZ back in the game.
Khalid things, quicksand guard. I'm like, what you gonna do about it?
Not to mention he didn't even spend his flicker. He straight up just rode the sands out to safety.
Oh man, I love the fact that we were like, you know, underrated players, and on top of the fact that the EXPs have been kind of like, not doing too much because it's been pretty boring lanes for them. Now it's kind of riding on them to make these big plays.
Oh, Sunshine pinned against the wall. Sensui looking for the finish. OHEB gets the kill though. Rosa looking to respond, pops the black shoes in the midst of them. Sensui uses that defensive spin though, able to get away. Luckily, Rosa still finds Yue. Fireflux trying to even things out. Oh, Edward with the raging sandstorm. He gets a stun on it. TNZ goes down. Oheb finds another kill. Apex 47 grasping for straws, but able to grasp nothing. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Blacklist on top.
Grasp these facts. Whenever you see Blacklist International with low HP, technically they aren't. The fact that you have a hero like the Rafaela that tops up all of their members, just taking them out of Oathkeeper range makes Fireflux Esports' job more difficult. It's not a true sweep when you have to swing maybe 2 more times. Also talking about the Khalid, oh dear lord. There's a reason why XP lane feels like the toughest lane for hero pool right now. It's because they're so perfect, like the way this Khalid is now on Edward, or they get banned out. Looking at that draft now, you see that the Arlott got banned, you're seeing Edith getting banned, and that's just the name of the game right now. So Blacklist International perfectly setting up for that atmosphere, sitting at 4 kills ahead here, 6 minutes in.
Oh, cheeky lane swap.
Alien pops the bravest fighter, getting some nice damage on Oheb.
Whoa!
The flicker in! They find him! Luckily, Apex finds another one. Double kill for the roamer, but that's okay. It's still a win for Fireflux Esports, but no! Sunshine! Just when they find something, they lose elsewhere.
What can you say about this, right? The trades on both sides. It feels like both teams are literally just thinking in the same light.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Sensui in trouble. Gonna get stunned too. Sensui still gets the turtle. Gonna be able to walk away safely. Yue and Edward doing some damage on Alien there. Fireflux gonna back off.
It's impressive how these kinds of teams, structure-wise, synergy-wise, skill set-wise, come up and are developed from across different parts of the world. One from Ankara in Turkey, the other from Manila here in the Philippines. And here now they're both fighting for tournament life. Blacklist about 2,000 gold ahead. I'd like to think maybe if Sunshine had a Purify would have been better, but that's a Beatrix with a Purify. Doesn't work out.
Alien gonna get pinned here. It's gonna be okay though, looks like. Nothing too major.
Down bottom.
They do find the tower though, down bottom. Edward versus Tienzi once again, but Edward gonna get the outplay! Bring out the recalls, baby! Edward!
Agent 0, TNZ there. Amazing. He had the Master Assassin though.
Did have the Master Assassin, and now we might see another response.
Okay, Blacklist ready to bring out the pillow, smothering down onto Fireflux.
Just take it. But here's the thing, Fireflux can still get themselves out of this position like this. I'd say put Blacklist where they're down on damage, and when they're not as complete, when they're not all there. But you're talking about the specialists of the Ube here. It's easier said than done.
I mean, it's finally a deep breath of fresh air for both sides, right? It's on a knife's edge. It really is. And so far, the EXP laners have been doing a phenomenal job. However, it's only left inside of their lanes. We haven't seen it actually expand their influence over the neutral fights, and more importantly so, with the cheeky lane swaps, both sides getting punished for it. It begs the question whether Blacklist International can actually maintain this as we start moving towards the later stages of the game. Well, like, we're done with early. The lanes are basically gone for. Now, we transition into mid-game, and this is where it's going to get really sweaty now that the Lord has spawned.
Already, truth be told, this is foreign land for Fireflux. It's unfamiliar to them to play a Leomord and not be ahead. So they have to very specifically find an angle where Apex can set up an amazing ult for Sunshine and Alien. Of course, Alien's been catching Blacklist pretty good, to be honest, in the past 9 minutes. See this, right?
He's never scared to go in.
Oh. This is a good position.
Back off. That is a good position. Sensui is there. It comes Raging Sandstorm from the back. Genzi can't find his way in. Sensui able to secure it, and Blacklist is like, no, we're not fighting. We got our goal.
Sensui is playing man-to-man defense against a man and a horse.
Oh, boy. He's doing it well.
He's doing a great job, right? He is just point guarding out of his mind. It's nice to see. It's one of those matchups where you don't want to pin him against the wall. You just need him far enough so he can't use the retribution range isn't near that Lord. So now that Blacklist International finally have that lead, we're starting to see the motion start flowing through. We're seeing the huge lead coming out from Oheb's side, 2K ahead. Huge, and they're very low to the ground still, right? You're looking at marksmen who just have 3 core items, 2 prior to that last one being built. So it just shows that Blacklist are snowballing. This is
the equivalent of a team that is, what, synergy-based, like Blacklist, snowballing at 10 minutes in, 3-6.
You know, I also love Edward's position. He's always taking the opposite side of the team. He's always the 1 to the 4-1, right? And there he is once again, possibly going to go for TNZ up in the top side. He's hiding out in that tri-bush, waiting for a moment to strike. And the boss side, Blacklist International, going to try to close in with this Lord as well. They're going to break through that second inhibitor, try to break through this second in the mid as well. Can Fireflux defend?
That's so good, it's so clean. Khalid is the perfect one hero in the 4-1. Because again, in this lineup for Fireflux, the only one who can really stop his quick Sandguard is what? Apex 47 and Alien. That's it. Maybe with a Phantom Seed, knock him off his knee, right? So it's so good. He wins the 1v1 regardless.
I mean, as they start pushing in, right? I mean, this top-up specifically coming in from Renegade, it's making it difficult, right? Rosa is landing some good shots, but really it's not developing much for the team anymore. The zoning isn't as good as it used to be.
Yep, because Blacklist are willing to walk into it. If anything, it's Blacklist who's checking Fireflux's ground. Rosa's saying, all right, you guys can only go up to here. Oh yeah? Can we go up this close? And then, again, it's a 5k deficit. You have your cores and even your tanks, your peelers, who can't take as much damage from OHEB's basic attacks, saying, all right, you know what, maybe you can. And they have to play very defensively. They have to play very specifically and sacrifice their larger objectives. This tier 2 in mid, I give it maybe 2 or 3 more waves. I give it this last Lord, and then Black is going to push in.
It's definitely going to be trouble for Fireflux. I mean, they're at a big gold deficit, 4.5.
Oh.
Not only that, but most of that gold is in the hands of OHEB.
That's a winter tranche coming up. Rather, a Wind of Nature coming up.
So, I mean, now, even if Sunshine starts to catch up, OHEB can still get some outplay. He can also deal with some of the damage from Alien, deal with some of the damage from TNZ. Fireflux running out of answers. Apex looks for the implosion, though. Alien in the backside as well with the Bravest Fighter. Yue catches him with one of his own. Terrified, Alien down. Sensui gonna pick up that kill just in time to take this Lord.
Very clean from the side of Blacklist International, right? This pick is going to make sure that at least for this Lord, it's going to be a non-contest. I can't imagine Fireflux walking up here, especially since Bennett's Rage is already down, and Nibiru's Passion puts you in an awkward spot where you're now susceptible to getting hit by not only Yue, but at the same time, by the Holy Baptism from Renegade. So there we go. They've got the Lord for free, uncontested.
That's right. Not just the fact that even Alien is down. Maybe if you can layer the Implosion and the Bravest Fighter, that might be enough of a peel or a full frontal shock that scatters Blacklist and then allows for the damage from Rosa and Sunshine to make a difference. But that's 2 or 3 layers that you have to set up. That's a 1-step plan for Blacklist compared to Fireflux's 3 or 4. And we're being very generous. It's actually a grocery list of things that have to go right for Fireflux for them to actually have stolen that Lord away.
Yeah. If you mess it up, if you miss it,
the punish.
It's over.
The punish is so bad.
Can we talk about the fact that Alien is going for a pretty interesting build earlier when I did see it? He did have an extra Fury Hammer on top of the Hunter Strike. Is he trying to go for Blade of Heptases when most people will go for Malefic Roar at this point in time?
It's a hybrid, and again, I think he's just hunting for OHEB. That's what he's been doing. He's trying to take down the core for Blacklist, but I'm worried because there's very little of a streak on OHEB. But I guess if you do take down their main damage source, you're able to force out fights so that TNZ can swing. I don't know.
Lord coming in. Black coming in as well. Knock, knock. Black gonna move up to the top side. They want to clear everything out. And I just love the patience right now. This is the Filipino discipline at its peak. Blacklist International not stressed at all about trying to end the game right now. They know they have late game secured. They know they have mid. They know that this is in their hands.
I mean, with no inhibitors, I'm trying to figure out a way for Fireflux Esports to really make this comeback onto Blacklist International. I mean, it really boils down to whether Blacklist International makes that mistake, right?
Biggest play of their lifetime. That's what they need.
The shift in OHEB's priorities. Instead of going straight for the Wind of Nature, he pivots into the DHS. And then he'll there it is, there's a defensive item. He knows that he wasn't in trouble. He knows that Alien has slowed down on finding him out in the back line. And because of that, those pushes became much, much easier.
It's looking pretty grim, right? It's looking pretty grim, but we've seen teams come back from worse. It's an 8.2k lead, now an 8.1k lead for the side of Blacklist International. But for Fireflux Esports, it's just a moment that we're looking at Apex 47. We're hoping, we're praying that maybe he finds somebody, maybe even Sensui, just to steal away a singular lore because he's the only one who's not running the Purify.
There's that, but I think the actual reality of comeback is going to happen much closer to home, inside their base. If Apex 47 can find a perfect flicker, displacement, and implosion close to the base where he can expose, expose Blacklist International to maybe one or two more turret hits that they can take, then that could be the comeback.
Rosa getting Divine Glaive now, and it might just be another non-contest. TNC, he's going to have to try his best. They might even have to sacrifice a player just to try to make the attempt work.
Yeah, but look at Edward's positioning right now, constantly holding this bot side, and that's the flank, right? And Edward has done this so well, and that's what created space last time. TNZ had to fall back, and that's what gave Sensui the ability to just do that heavy spin and get him out of there. Fireflux know that so much is on the line. I think they're going to put it all on this Lord, possibly.
Oh, what makes it worse is they know that Edward is in that bush. Edward showed himself, so they know that there's this angle coming in from the south.
But what can they do about it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just frustrating.
Apex maybe goes for Edward. I don't know, man.
Flush him out.
Minions are coming down on the top side, though. Don't forget, this is a do-or-die game. All the pressure on Fireflux shoulders right now. They don't win this, they're going home. One last Lord to rule them all right here. The Steed comes out, Edward comes in, only lands a stun on Apex 47 though. Edward actually taking a little bit of damage. Sensui gets the pin, the heavy spin. TNZ goes, able to just get away, but still, the rest of the team taking way too much damage. UA! He finds an OHEB with another one. Fireflux is dropping left and right. Rosa, can he try to get the outplay? No, Black is already at the base. Sunshine, 1v4. This should be it. Blacklist International, with a dynasty better than most, are gonna move on in the lower bracket.
And there you have it! GG, well played for Blacklist International, taking the series 3-1. Again, they're back to that philosophy. They don't lose to the same team twice.
The Code Breakers have found a way and they got their revenge. But just the same, the champions of Turkey have showed all they've got. They shocked the world once more. It's another flavor of the Turkish delight, and they will have our respect for years to come. And I'm sure that they will come back. We will see them once more, even if they have to bow out.